Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make a brush out of a photograph in Photoshop. And you can use any photograph you want to create a brush out of. This photograph I've chosen is under the Digital Imaging Adobe Photoshop CS3 folder and under brushes. And it's this image here, how to create a brush 01. And for this image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the channels, which are here. I can view the channels by going up to Window Channels. And I'm going to view each channel individually. I'm going to view the blue channel, then the red channel, the green channel actually, and then the red channel. And I'm going to see which one provides the most contrast. I'm trying to create a brush out of this swatch right here. This is what I want my brush to be. I want to get rid of the background. And it appears that the blue channel provides the most contrast between my stripe and the background. And once I've chosen my channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my channel. I'm going to change the levels and adjust this image so that I get a little bit more contrast between the actual stripe here and the background. I can do this by going to levels and adjusting the level sum. I can also do this by going to Image, Adjustments, Curves. I can adjust my curves a little bit. And I can also do this by going Image, Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast. That looks pretty good. I'm basically just trying to wash out the background so that all that's left is this stripe right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the blue channel and select the entire canvas. I'm going to select the entire canvas by hitting Control A. That's select all. I'm going to copy it, Control C. And I'm going to go to my layers. I can get there by hitting F7. I'm going to create a new layer. I can do that by hitting this button down here. Or I can do that by hitting Control Shift N. I'm just going to hit enter. And now I'm going to paste that channel on top of this, Control V. Right. And I'm going to turn off the background by just hitting the little eye right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to cut out the background and leave only the swatch of color left. And I can do that in a number of different ways. I can do that using masks, or I can just do that by using the eraser tool. I can just erase the background with my little eraser tool. But I find the eraser tool is hard to use in these little tiny areas. And I tend to use the magic wand or the magic selection tool. And this is pretty simple. Just select an area around the outside of the brush and then hit the delete key. And this is pretty effective in deleting most of the areas that you don't want. You can deselect your canvas by hitting Control, then D. That's deselect. Some of these areas that didn't get deleted, you can use the eraser tool on. And I'm going to increase the diameter of my eraser so this goes a little bit faster. I'm actually going to leave that little nipple there because I like it. But I'm also going to use my magic wand tool so I can select a little bit more of these values in here. And just going to select them and hit delete, because I want those inner textures to be available when I'm using this as a brush. And you don't have to be super precise, but it's nice to get some interesting textures on the inside of this this brush, as well as the edge. Alright, once I've done all this, I can deselect my canvas again, get rid of that little blinking dotted line by hitting Control D. And now I'm ready to turn this into a brush. I'm ready to go. And all I have to do is I have to go up to Edit and go to Define Brush Preset. If this option is not selected, it might mean that you don't have the right layer selected, or you don't have a good layer selected. If the eyeball's not on, you won't be able to go to Edit, Define Brush Preset. You just need to make sure you're on the correct layer and you have the eyeball set. So just go to Define Brush Preset, And you can label this brush however you want. The number is 2272. That's the name of the brush. And you can label it, I don't know, paint brush roller marks. I mean, anything you want. Hit OK, and you've saved your paintbrush. To view your paintbrush, you guys can go to the paintbrush tool, go to your paintbrushes, and your paintbrush is probably on the very, very bottom. Mine's right here, 2272. And I have this huge paintbrush, the same size as that. And I can paintbrush my canvas a couple times. And it's a little big, so I'll probably turn it down a little bit. And I can change the colors around and stamp around on my canvas, and you can create this really cool effect. Paintbrushes are really cool when you want to do just unique things with Photoshop. And an example of this would be right here, 04. I have some other examples here. But this woman here, you can see that I created text on her shirt and I created text on the blanket, which is basically just a text tool in an image. And I can, if I do this, I can see the original image right here. And when I turn on the text for her shirt and her blanket, you can see that what I did was I created the text and then I paintbrushed over top of the text with the same texture of the blanket. Basically, I took a piece of the blanket, made a brush out of it, wrote the text down on the this little blanket, and then stamped over it to create a nice texture. So it looks like the text is physically on the blanket. Same thing with her shirt. You can create the same kind of texture as her shirt and stamp over top of the text on her shirt to make the icon feel like it's actually part of the clothing. And that's a really just quick overview of how to make brushes.